Well, today we're going to do something we haven't done before, and that is we're going to do a product review. We were solicited by this company to do a YouTube review on it, and it's something that we kind of know a little something about, in that we have these battery backups in our fifth wheel trailer, in our car trailer, in our Volkswagen Transporter Doka, and we have rollaway battery backup power supplies in our shops. So between those that we use ourselves and those that we produce for customers, we have a little bit of a grasp on this product. So first thing that came to my mind when we're looking at this product is that the size of this thing is quite small. Here it is next to my lunch bag. So my lunch bag is larger than this power station, portable power station. It will fit within my lunch bag and probably still be able to fit my lunch in there. So let's take it out of the box and take a closer look. Also, let's take a closer look at the box here. I'm not sure how you pronounce the brand name, and so I'm not going to even try. But this is the front of the box, and here's one end. It says CPAP, mini cooler, LED light, laptop, camera, drone, phone. You'll see what it looks like when we open it up. So we'll take a look at the product data real quick, and it there we go. It is 296 watt hours. Size is under 9 inches by just under 6 inches by under 6 inches. And I know, based on some of the parameters they listed on the website, that these are lithium iron phosphate batteries. It says input is 18 volts, 3.5 amps. Output 12 volts, 10 amps. You've got USB outputs. You got 2 USB, 5 volt, 3 amps. 1 USB, 5 volt, 3 amp, 9 volt, 2 amp. Vehicle output, so it's got a 12 volt, like cigarette lighter style 12 volt power port, 10 amps. And it's got a type C input output. The power type 60 watt. AC output 300 watts, 110 volts, 60 hertz. And I read elsewhere it says sine wave here, but it's a pure sine wave. And then it has wireless charging on the top of it for a like a phone. Maximum 10 watt supports 7.5 and 5 watt phone charging options. So let's look at it even closer, and of course, made in China. This was boxed in another box, and the box had a little bit of damage. You can see a little bit here, but it doesn't appear to have been serious. Okay, so it comes with the user manual, and I looked through it previously, just like the website. The Chinese really need to hire somebody who's fluent in English, because things don't read or flow very well. I mean, you can pretty much make heads or tails of it, but it's just not grammatically properly structured sentences, that type of thing. So anyway, you get that. There's a box with the accessories here, which include cable for your charger, and the charger is in here, and you can see it has the USB-C power connector. So that's one way to charge. This actually offers you multiple ways to charge. So let's take it out of the box and take a look at it here. Got a little plastic sleeve over it. Remove that. So here it is. Nice little carrying handle. It's I believe 4.29 pounds, so it's quite light. Like I said, it's quite small. I mean, give you an idea, it's not very large. So spot for your cell phone charging that you put right there, and individually switched. And we'll take a look at the front here, and you can see that we have a power on off. We've got a light on the end here, and I'll show you that in a moment. It's got just some LEDs here to show you the kind of the battery status. You've got another light on this end. We'll talk more about that. And this right here is to turn on the inverter, and you can see it's got a multi kind of international plug on it here, so you can plug in 2-prong, 3-prong, so forth into that. Then you've got your USB 5 and 9 volt. You got the USB 5 volt, 2 of those. Then you got the USB-C PD, which is 60 watts. We got the DC in, and we've got DC out, as well as we've got DC out here, standard 12 volt power port. So that's it. Okay, nice, simple, very intuitive to use. So we'll turn it on here, and of course the little LED comes on, lets me know that it's on. It's showing the battery status. I've got 2 bars out of 4. Let's turn on the light. And one of the things about this I've noticed, if I just press that, nothing happens. You have to press and hold it for a second. And then it comes on. So it's not like it's going to get accidentally turned on. I kind of like that. So quite bright, very bright light, and that's that's in the daylight here. So quite bright. So it appears that it's just on and off. Excuse me. This one on the other end, okay, there it is. Not too bright. I think they call that, safe reading mode. And then there's strobe. And then an SOS strobe. And everybody knows Morse code today, so that comes in handy. And then off. So let's test this. I'm going to have to think about what we can test this with. Like I said, all the products that we produce, about the smallest one I have here is 5 kilowatt hours. So this is 300 watt hours. So 300 versus 5,000. 5 kilowatt hours versus 300 watt hours. Actually, it's 296. But 300 watt inverter. The smallest one we have is in the car trailer. It's 2,000 watts. And that's continuous. And so this is 300 watts continuous. So, you know, I'm used to things that are quite larger than this, things that are designed that will run, you know, appliances and tools and whatever you would need whenever you need it. We had the power go out of our house. It was only out for about an hour and a half. And real unusual, where we live, we're actually pretty close to the substation, so our power doesn't go out that often. And, you know, you plug in, you don't have to move a generator outside, or you don't have to, all we do is, you know, flip a switch and plug in, and we can run the refrigerator, the heat, the internet, whatever, toaster, microwave, all those things, and we can do them simultaneously because we have a 4,000 watt continuous pure sine wave inverter and 8,000 watt surge. So, you know, something like this, you know, I had to stop and think because it's just not something that I personally have experience with. So I listed some things that you know on the box that they say that it can be used for. CPAP. Well, I have friends that use CPAP machines, and I know that they've purchased things similar to this. I'm not sure. It might have even been this one. I don't know. You know, a mini cooler. It's got to pull less than 300 watts. You know, a laptop. Well, I'm not real sure what my laptop pulls, but you know, I think you know, most laptops would probably work for recharging cameras, drones, and phones. That's where I see this having a lot of utility, is because it's so small. If you're going camping or something, you know, depending on the kind of camping you're doing, you know, you saw the, you know, in the background of our videos, you see the 38-foot fifth wheel. So we do the glamping kind of thing, and so, you know, charging things is not a problem. Matter of fact, I can run dual AC. So application for this, I'm sure a lot of you viewers have a better idea of a good application for this than I do. But let's kind of put the thing through the test. So I'm not going to be able to test all the features. I don't think my phone has inductive charging. We're in a shop, so, you know, I'm looking around. You know, a heat gun, some of the tools that we have, you know, air compressors. What? I mean, nothing has this low a draw. Well, got a trouble light here, so I'll plug that in. Oh, okay. Now we're on. Turn the inverter on. So, got lights signaling everything's on. Let's see what happens when I flip the switch. We'll just leave that on for a moment while I go and find something else to plug in. So we're going to check out this fan. It's kind of dirty and nasty looking because it's in the back corner of the shop. Let me turn this off and plug it. We're going to plug in the kilowatt meter here. It's going to be sideways. It's showing 113 volts. Let's tilt this on its side. I don't hear any fans on, I don't feel anything, so we're not going to be blocking any cooling. Okay. Let's see if I can read it. Okay. I'm going to plug this thing in. And it shows, yeah, these are all LEDs. This says 8 watts. 0.11 amps. Let's stack it up here. We've got a plug on the light. We're going to plug the fan in to the light. I'll put the fan on low to start with. So it's 0.36 amps. We'll go to medium. 0.42. For those of you that amps aren't the thing you want to talk about, we'll go to watts. .45 watts. So that's 54 watts. So we're powering a standard fan. It's not a little tiny fan. This is a regular little desktop type of fan. We used to use it to help move air around the shop in the summertime. And of course this little LED trouble light. Not much of a load at all. So, what do we have that would be more of a test, but not too much for this thing? I don't know. So I had left the fan running while I was looking around, and the other thing I came up with is, our charger for our batteries for our tools. So, still got 2 bars on my power supply here. Going to plug into the light. So we're on. The indicator light's on there. We'll plug a battery in. It's charging the battery. And it picked us up to 82 watts, 81. I saw a high of 84. But anyway, 81. So approximately 80 watts is what we're pulling now. Well within the 300 watt capability. I just don't have that many things down here that, don't pull a lot of juice. So let me take one more look around and see what else we can do to challenge this thing. Well, fact of the matter is, I just don't have anything. Well, we had been running it for a long time, and it finally had a fan come on. It's not real loud. Don't know if you can hear it, but I mean, the thing's been running for half hour, maybe a little longer, and so there it went off. So that was the first time I'd heard the cooling fan come on. Not very loud, and didn't run very long. So cooling fan works. I did think of another use for this thing, and that is that I can use it to keep the battery charged on our camera. That's one thing that we have issue with, is that in order to keep the camera battery charged all the time, because we get interrupted, and so sometimes it'll shut off over time. But having a low camera battery is something that we run up against, and so we got an extension cord run to the camera all the time, and that's common that we have an extension cord running to the camera and tripod. So that's, I think, going to be a use that we have for this, is that it's going to keep our camera going. So that's one. Like I said, I'm just not used to thinking about something this size, but the more I do, I'm sure the more ideas I'll have on how to use it. So why would you choose this one over any other? There's a lot of these things out there nowadays. Like I said, I'm not familiar with these smaller ones. I've never purchased one, and we make our own, but they're much larger and for a different purpose. And so start looking at them. It's like, what if this was something that I needed? What else is out there? Well, what I like about this one over others that I've seen, and of course you can get these any size you want. I mean, nowadays, when we started making, these backup, battery-powered, emergency backup systems, they didn't have thousands of them available, all different sizes. Now they do. So now you can get whatever you want. If you want, this is 300, watt hours. You can get 4, 5, 8, 9,000, whatever size fits your needs. But what do I like about this one? If I was looking for something in this category, I like the size and shape of it. Some of the others, they get a little fancy with their design. This is it's not quite a cube, but it's a nice little block that, like I said, would fit in my lunch bag. It doesn't have, this excess stuff here for a handle or lips and different things on them. That, I mean, it's just a very clean design, very solid feeling, and just, it'll fit in something easy. And then I can pull it out, and it's not going to grab hold of other things coming out. It's a nice, clean, efficient design. So that's the first thing that comes to mind when I'm looking at all that's out there, is the design of this. It's a nice package. It's the packaging. I really like it. Something that I didn't mention yet that, that we all look at when we're looking at something on Amazon or whatever, is what's the price? Well, this is, November 2021, and you can get this Amazon Prime for around $220. And that looks to be on par with others that are similar. So it's not like it's overpriced. Like I said, it feels like a quality unit. So, I think that's probably, a fair price. I mean, we do units that are over $20,000, but you can't pick it up, especially not with one hand. So, there's something for every, purpose. And this meets certain purpose, certain objectives. And I think if it does, then it's a good unit to choose, because, I mean, it's probably not the only one that does the inductive charging. And it's not the only one that has any of these other features. They all do. But, is it something that it is going to pack well, be able to stow it away, stack other things on or around it? those are kind of, the practicality part is what that comes to mind to me. And there's, it's all flush. It's not going to be anything to, snag on or get broken off. And that's just what I, and it, you know, to pick it up, it's that quick and easy. It's got a little indentation right there. Like I said, you saw me doing this a lot, where I could just tilt it back like that with that handle. It just, and it's working as advertised. So what's the conclusion? Well, after using this thing for several weeks now, I really have used it more than I ever would have imagined. It comes in real handy for things like, we talked about our video camera, but I've used it for video camera as an extension, an extender, I should say, for my laptop battery, and for charging my phone. So those things are what I've used it for the most. It comes in real handy where it's not that I don't have power available. I spend a lot of time in a warehouse or a shop, but what is nice about it is I don't always have an outlet nearby. And so instead of running an extension cord, I just set this nearby and plug my laptop into it, plug the camera into it. I can just set this right underneath the tripod. And at the same time, I plug my phone in. And so I'm charging my phone, running my laptop, charging the camera battery, all simultaneously, and all without a bunch of extension cords. And so I find that to be the greatest value for me personally. Like I said, if you're camping or doing whatever your lifestyle dictates, I'm sure you'll have other uses for it. But it's packaging, its durability, I think make it a good choice for something that you would need in this um, range. It's like I said, it's just under 300 watt hours. It's a 300 watt inverter, and so those are the limitations. But the advantages are its size, its shape, and so I've been using it and enjoying it. The battery goes a lot longer than you would think when you're just doing laptops and phones and camera batteries. But when it starts to get kind of low, I just plug it in at night, and just like I do my car, come back, the thing is charged, ready to work again. So I've been enjoying it much more than I thought I would. In the beginning, I didn't know what I would use the thing for. Now I'm using the thing all the time, and I've really been enjoying it. And I think it's a really quality unit. It does everything that it advertises that it will do. We put it through the tests behind the scenes as we've had time, and yeah, it puts out the full numbers that are advertised. So I give it 2 thumbs up. Like I said, I've been pleasantly surprised by its um, applicability in my life. Didn't think I had any reason for something like this, and I have. It's not a have to, but it's been something that's been very convenient and appreciated, and so yeah, 2 thumbs up. And it's nice that we have all of these products available today. There's just something for everybody. And so if I think if you're looking for something of this scale, something that puts out this kind of power, can't go wrong with this unit. And we'll let you know over time because we're using the snot out of it, and we'll let you know how it holds up in our shop environment being used almost daily.